Hello everybody, my name is Brandon. Welcome back to the channel. I'm here today because I did some trade-ins and I got so much stuff. So I have to share with you guys what I picked up thanks to all these trade-ins that I did. So I will mention that I did all these trade-ins at my local disc replay, and literally all I traded in, 95% of what I traded in, I should say, was all duplicates. So you guys know that I've been upgrading a lot of things from Blu-ray to 4K, even some things from DVD to 4K or DVD to Blu-ray. And so I decided, I don't need these, so let's trade them in and see what kind of credit I can get for them. And like I said, 90 to 95% of this was just duplicates. I did trade in maybe some old video games that I had beaten or didn't want anymore for whatever reason, but the vast majority was just movies, and I did shockingly well. So this was not just one trip to Disc Replay. I went to about 3 or 4 different Disc Replays trying to trade things in because some stores will take, item X, whereas another store will not. And so if they don't accept it, they just give it back to you and you can do what you want with it at that point. But of course, I'm going to try a different store because they might have less in stock, and so they might want it. It might be in more demand depending on the location. So this was probably 4 different disc replays that I hit, and this was over the past probably month and a half, 2 months now. So I've been sitting on these because I wanted to show them to you guys in one big video, because I paid literally less than $5 out of pocket for these. Like, this is insane. I have 30 items to talk about with you guys today, 1 video game, and then the rest are movies. So this is going to be a big one. I'm super excited to share with you guys what I found at Disc Replay for literally less than $5 out of pocket. Oh, this is exciting. So let's not waste any more time. Let's dive right in. So we'll start with video games, and then we'll move over to DVDs, Blu-rays, and then we'll wrap it up with my 4K pickups. I can see my hand so much here, so I've pushed the camera back a little bit while filming this one because I want to have enough room to put in like the trailers and whatnot on the corners, so hopefully this works a little bit better than having it in so close, but you are going to get a lot more of my hand motion, so I apologize for that right up front. But anyway, let's talk about the video game I grabbed. I found UFC Throwdown on the PS2, and I was very thrilled to find this one because this is a little bit harder to find, at least in person near me. So you guys, if you've been following the channel, you know that I collect old sports video games because I like wasting money, I guess, but I love them. I have so much fun with them. So I found UFC Throwdown for a really good price, and I grabbed it with my credit. So I only buy old sports games complete, so you can see this does have the manual and the disc, and it is in very great condition, so no complaints here. I was so excited to find this one, and I think now I have all of the PS2 UFC games. I might even have all the Xbox ones now. I have to double check, but I know I have a good handful of them now, so very excited to finally get this one in the collection. So UFC Throwdown on the PS2 is the only video game I grabbed this month. So now let's talk DVDs, and then Blu-rays, and then the 4K movies I grabbed. I should mention before we dive into the DVDs here that the reason I grabbed some DVDs, and I do have a good hefty stack full, is because they are buy 3, get 3 free from Disc Replay, and they're all $3.33 or less. So they're super cheap, and you get just so many for such a low cost. So I figured I would check out the section and see if there's anything there. The other reason I grabbed these on DVD is either they're not available on Blu-ray, meaning they were never released there, or I'm just not able to find them very easily on Blu-ray, or I don't want to spend the extra cost for the Blu-ray. So that's why I did grab some DVDs for my using my trading credit. But let's start with my first one here, and this is really cool because this I actually had before in a different variation. So you can see this is the Boogeyman 5 movie collection. So this contains the original Boogeyman, and then it's like the Return of Boogeyman, yeah. But then it also has the Boogeyman trilogy, the remake, and its 2 sequels. So I actually own Boogeyman, like the triple pack of this on DVD, but I didn't have the other 2 films, the original 2. So I wanted to upgrade to this one for the absurdly low cost that it was. So now I have all 5 of the Boogeyman film franchise, and I'm gonna be honest with you, I don't dislike the first 3 movies or the trilogy in this at all. I've never seen the first 2, but I really was scared by the first one when I saw it in theaters when I was much younger. But then the second and third one, I wasn't necessarily scared by them, but I thought they were pretty well done for kind of low budget garbage sequels to a remake that probably didn't do terribly well in theaters. So I think this was super worth it for the price. So first up is Boogeyman, the 5 movie collection. Here is a movie that I have just heard so much about over the span of my life here, and I've never seen it. And it's always like looked at as one of those terrible remakes. Now, I've never seen the original and I've never seen the remake, but now I will be able to watch the remake of Rollerball. So this one was released in 2002. So it came out when I was in high school. And like I said, it's just one of those staples I remember from high school because of seeing all the hype surrounding it, all the trailers about it. And then when it released, seeing all the negativity surrounding it. So I am really interested in checking out Rollerball. This one should be pretty fun, if nothing else. And it has Rebecca Romaine Stamos in it. So, I mean, if nothing else, there's that. And it has LL Cool J, who is just fantastic. So I will probably enjoy this one at least a little bit. So Rollerball from 2002. This next movie got on my radar thanks to a new channel that I've just started watching. She's Movie Chatter is the name of her channel, and she has a huge following, like over 6,000 subscribers, so much bigger than I could probably ever hope to be. But she's fantastic, and she pointed out Suicide Kings is a movie that has never been released on Blu-ray, and they had this at Disc Replay, so of course I had to pick it up. She had nothing but awesome things to say about this, and the cast is ridiculous. Christopher Walken, you can see them all listed there, but Christopher Walken, Dennis Leary, Jay Moore, Henry Thomas. I mean, the list goes on and on. It's fantastic. So I'm sure this one is going to be a lot of fun, and it's not available on Blu-ray, so I might as well grab the DVD for as cheap as it was. So very interested to check out Suicide Kings. So if you're paying attention, you might notice I'm wearing something different. I had to stop filming in one day and pick it up again another day. So here we are. Let's keep on going. So this next one I am really excited about because not only is it an Asylum mockbuster, but it's actually in its original title. So this is Age of the Hobbits, which obviously is a mockumentary for, or not a mockumentary, rather, a mockbuster for The Hobbit when those films came out. This one was released in 2012. Well, when this was released, it actually was sued. Asylum was sued by like Warner Brothers, New Line Cinema, and there was a producer. They all came together and sued them for copyright infringement. They won, and so this had to change names, so it's now referred to as Clash of the Empire. But I have the original one that showed up at my doorstep when I worked at Family Video, and you can see there, this is a Family Video sticker, so gotta love that. This is not from my Family Video, it was in a different city. I'm sure it didn't come from the ones that I managed, but either way, it comes from Family Video. So happy to find this one with its original title. I mean, it's just very cool. And again, these were so cheap, so had to add Age of the Hobbits from 2012 to the collection. This next one has been on my radar for a long time, but I've never came across it in the wild until now. This is Wicked Lake. So this looks like a film where these group of girls go on vacation out in the woods, and then they are hunted by these two men. But if you look at the tagline, it is "Life's a witch and then you die." So I'm guessing that this is going to be something a little unusual, probably something a little witchy, but we'll see. I've heard really cool things about this, and what's awesome is it comes with the DVD, but it also comes with this soundtrack here, which is by a band named, or it's from, it looks like the musical score is by a singer from the band Ministry, which I don't know it, but maybe you do. But on top of that, there's also this DVD-ROM from Fever Dreams, which I have no idea what that is. So I don't even think I don't even have a computer with a DVD drive in it anymore, but we'll see. I think I have an external still that I can use. So I'm going to check out what that is because I'm very intrigued. But yeah, this one should be pretty cool, and it comes with a lot of cool extras. So Wicked Lake is another one I'm happy to add to the collection. I'm going to be honest with this one. I was just trying to find a sixth DVD to do like the buy three, get three, and it looked decent enough. This is called Ouija Room. So I know there's Ouija and then Ouija 2, which were like kind of the big budget movies that came out. And then there was like some knockoffs to that also came out. And this is definitely one of those knockoffs that came out after Ouija did. So I'm intrigued. Like you can definitely tell it looks like a low budget independent horror film, but something good can come out of those, plenty of times. So hopefully this is one of those times. So we have Ouija Room, and it looks like this one was released in 2019. Next up is a 4-pack, so you know I was interested in it, and it's films that I'd heard of before, but it's like, whenever you are reminded that they exist, it's like, oh yeah, that's right. This is The Substitute 4-film pack. So we have The Substitute, which has Tom Berenger in it, and then you have the 3 sequels, Substitute 2, 3, and 4, rather, which all star Treat Williams. So I've never seen any of these before, so if you have, let me know down in the comments below if they are worth my time at all, because this could be a fun kind of review to go through all 4 of these and talk about them. Who knows, but we'll take a look at it eventually. So we have The Substitute 1 through 4 in the 4 4-film pack. Should be pretty fun. This was one that I didn't know existed until recently. I didn't realize that the Ocean's 11 film franchise was based on an original Ocean's 11 that has like the Rat Pack in it. So you have Dean Martin, Frank Sinatra, Sammy Davis Jr., Peter Lawford, and Angie Dickinson in this original. So yeah, I want to check this out. You know, I've actually never even seen the remakes of this before, but they are ones that have been on my radar for a long time that I want to check out. And so I figured I will start with the original and then work my way down from there. So this should be pretty cool. And I've never actually seen a movie with these actors in it before, like Frank Sinatra. Never seen a film with him in it before. So this should be pretty interesting to check out. So we have Ocean's 11, and this is the original one from, it looks like 1960. So should be pretty cool. Here is another one that has the family video sticker on it, which just makes me happy. But this is Outpost. So if you guys have been watching my pickup videos, you know that I believe it was from the Dollar Tree. I found the second and third film of the Outpost trilogy on Blu-ray for $1 each. This original was never released on Blu-ray, so I was able to find the DVD completely randomly at my disc replay. So of course I had to grab it. So now I have the entire Outpost trilogy on DVD and Blu-ray. So I'm very interested to get to these. I've heard really good things about the second one, kind of bad things about the third, and I haven't heard much about this one. So we'll check out how this one is when I get around to it. So when I was going through the DVDs, I started at A and worked my way through to Z and kind of just did that at all the disc replays I was at. And this one stood out because it has a really interesting cover. It's called Final Prayer, and the tagline is "Evil has a new form." So this looks like there are unusual happenings at this church, I believe. Yeah. And so the Vatican sends people out to investigate, and then weird things start happening. So it sounds really interesting, and it has just a very eye-catching cover. So it was good enough to pick up for the not even, you know, $1 essentially that I paid for it. So hopefully this one will be worth the live up to the hype that the cover has built for it, but we'll see. I should also mention it is a third one with that family video sticker on it. It's serendipitous. It had to happen. So here we are. Here's another one that just looked really cool, has an awesome slipcover with it, and it's from Shout Factory, so that's awesome. This is called The Blackout Invasion Earth, and this looks like an alien invasion film, which I am all about, so hopefully this one will be pretty cool. Initially, I didn't think this one had a Blu-ray release, but I did check after I bought it, and it turns out it does, but that's okay. I don't think it's going to be probably that great, so, you know, the cheap price I paid on DVD is probably all I need for this one, but very intrigued to check this one out, because it looks really cool. So, The Blackout Invasion Earth. Speaking of awesome covers, here's another one, Last Girl Standing. Unfortunately, I couldn't get that sticker off, but look at the person in the background there, just looks super creepy, and it's supposed to be like a slasher film, but a different take on the slasher film. This one looks awesome, so I am interested to see what this one is all about. Looks really cool, and that's all I know about it, and that's all I need to know about it. These were super cheap, so I'm cool with that. So, Last Girl Standing, this one was released by MPI, and it looks like it is from 2015, so should be interesting. This next one also completes a collection I was going for. I picked up number 2, 3, and 4 in a trilogy pack from Dollar Tree recently, so I needed to get the first one. We have Charles Bronson's Death Wish. So I've never seen any of these films, but they look like they'll be a lot of fun, just kind of stupid action movies, which I'm all about. So I should mention this doesn't actually complete my series because I do need the remake yet, but with that one I will definitely be going, you know, Blu-ray or 4K depending on how I can find it and when I can find it. But I did want to get this one on DVD. I figured I didn't need the Blu-ray because I have the others on DVD, so this will suffice. So Death Wish wraps up my original quadrilogy of the Death Wish films. Here is one that I thought I actually owned on Scream Factory because there is a Scream Factory collector's edition of this on Blu-ray, but I didn't. And I wanted to see them film because I never have, and it's Bruce Campbell, so that's fantastic. So this is Bubba Hotep. I know most of you will probably know this one. It is a cult classic at this point, but I am very intrigued to see what it's all about. Bruce Campbell plays either Elvis or an Elvis impersonator, and then kind of crazy supernatural things happen around that premise, I believe is what this is about. So I want to keep my knowledge of it as low as possible going in, you know, just the fact that it is a Bruce Campbell starring film directed by Don Coscarelli is plenty enough for me. So I know you guys probably love this one and you're screaming at me to watch it now. So if you want me to talk about this one in a future wrap up, please let me know down in the comments below. And that is the last DVD that I grabbed on this trip. So now let's jump over to the Blu-rays. And this is one that I have heard so many things about over the years. And it's one that's been on my radar forever. But I never decided to pick it up until now. And it has an awesome, colorful slipcover. Gotta love that. But this is Black Death starring Sean Bean. So this one is supposed to be just like an old school horror film, but it's set in, like, I'm going to sound like such an idiot because I don't know. It's in the year 1348. So that's the time period that it's set. And it just is supposed to be awesome. The real reason that I was turned on to this is because of the director, Christopher Smith. I love his work on the other things I've seen. And so I really wanted to check this one out. The best part is this awesome slipcover though. Gotta love that. So I'm definitely going to check this one out soon. This is Black Death from Christopher Smith. So at the beginning of the year, I made a list of cheap Blu-rays to find, and I've kept that list with me as I was out shopping for movies all year long, and this is one that has been on that list since the beginning, and I'm so happy to now have it in my collection. This is 12 Years a Slave. So, I've heard excellent things about this film. I believe it won the Academy Award. Yeah, it was Academy Award winner for Best Picture. It's supposed to be incredible, and it has an incredible actor whose name I always mess up, Chiwetel Ejiofor. I completely butchered that. I apologize, but you guys recognize him. He's an incredible talent. I cannot wait to watch this movie. I've heard amazing things, so super excited to add 12 Years a Slave to the collection. Earlier this year, I watched a video from the Movie Buff Pains, one of my favorite channels, and they listed all of the Leica films, which, let me put it up here. Laika, Leica films. And those are like Paranorman was from Leica, Coraline, and this film also, The Box Trolls. And so I now have a goal of collecting all of the Leica films. I think The Missing Link is another one. There's one more that I'm forgetting the name of, but I know, Kobo and the String, I believe it's called, something like that. So those are all from Leica. So I want to get all of them in my collection. So I found this one kind of randomly in the kids section, and so I had to pick it up. So very excited to add this to that Leica collection. I need, I think, maybe 3 or 4 more to have it completed. So I have most of the way to go yet, but hey, this is another step closer. So The Box Trolls. It's hard to believe that I have not seen this Wes Craven film yet, but I haven't. This is My Soul to Take. And I know this is one of his lesser films, according to critics and, just people like us that watch movies all the time. I always hear that this is one of his lesser works, but I still have to have it in my collection because it is the wonderful, the late, the great Wes Craven. So I definitely had to pick this one up when I saw it, and I'm very intrigued to check this one out. So My Soul to Take, another slasher film, I imagine, from Wes Craven. I believe it was earlier this year, or maybe late last year, I watched a docuseries on Netflix, which is just some of my favorite things in the world. It was about basically the true story that surrounds this movie. It was horrifying and just twisty, and it's unsolved, really, so it was fascinating. And then I found out that 30 Minutes or Less was based on that loosely, I should say, was based on that same story. So I definitely added that to my Blu-rays to find cheap list, and I finally was able to come across it for a very low price. Obviously, nothing out of pocket due to these trades, but so I had to pick it up. This one, I think it's just such in bad taste, knowing the truth behind this, or the real story behind this. But I'm just so intrigued on how they're going to turn this into a comedy, because the whole thing is just so bonkers as it is, like the real story. So I really want to see what they do with this film. So I know it's only loosely based on it, but it's still very intriguing to me. And frankly, it's Jesse Eisenberg, who I love, Danny McBride. I mean, it's just a great cast. So I'm hoping that I will enjoy it. So if nothing else, check out the docuseries on Netflix, which the name's escaping right now, so hopefully I'll put it up on the bottom here. But it was incredible, and I'm hoping that this is hopefully good, but in a much different way. So 30 minutes or less. I'm also in the process of trying to complete the Taken series, because I've seen the first one, which I have here now, but I have not seen the other 2, and I wanted to complete that series as cheap a way as I possibly could. And I figured, buying them used on Blu-ray is the way to go. I do have another haul video that's coming very shortly. It is a thrift store haul, and you will see, spoiler, Taken 2 and Taken 3 in that lot. So I had to grab Taken 1, the original, in order to complete that. So very happy now that I have this entire series on Blu-ray, and I paid less than $6, $7 for the entire thing. So that's an awesome deal. Kind of the same story here. I needed Transporter 3 in order to complete this collection, and I was able to find it at Disc Replay. This was actually a little bit harder to come by. I searched at like 3 different stores, couldn't find it. I think it was the last one I went to. I was finally able to procure it. So Transporter 3, I've never seen any of these, but it's Jason Statham, and it's probably just a lot of fun, so I'm very intrigued to check this out. So Transporter 3 is another one to help complete a collection. This is interesting because I'm actually reading the original book that this entire series is based off of right now. And the book's okay, but I definitely prefer the movie. But this one I have not seen yet. I've seen Ring 2, but I have not seen Rings. I said that really weird. I have not seen Rings. So I need to correct that. And this one was, very cheap, and I was able to get it with my credit, so I wanted to pick it up. So I know this is one that most people disliked, but I'm hoping that it's going to be decent at least, and it's probably going to be something that I enjoy just because I like this whole series. So we're going to check out Rings very soon. I'm going to be completely honest. I thought this one was Midnight Meat Train is what I thought I was getting, but it's not. It's Night Train. Midnight Meat Train is a film that is based off of a Books of Blood, so off a Clive Barker short story. I've seen that one, and I thought it was good, and I thought it was good enough to own, which is why I grabbed this. And then I got home and I realized, no, you moron, this isn't the same movie. This is Night Train. So this has Danny Glover in it, which is always fun. And it is, frankly, I don't really know too much about it. How far would you go to have everything you desire is the tagline on the back here. So I don't know. It's got blood on it. I mean, hey, that's always a good thing for a horror fan, right? So we'll check this one out. It is not what I thought it was, but it has a really good cast. Danny Glover, Lily Sobieski, and Steve Zahn, which is, they're great actors. So I'm sure this one will be worth the low cost that it was. And the last Blu-ray I grabbed is one that I've been wanting to see for the longest time, and I just have never owned it, so I never got around to it. But I know you guys are going to be screaming at me like it's terrible, don't waste your time, but I have to see it because I love the cast. We have The Watch. So this is actually an alien film, which is amazing to me. So I'm very intrigued to see what this is. And like I said, this cast is fantastic. I know it's not for everybody, but I love these guys. So I'm hoping I will get a kick out of it, but we'll see how it goes. So I'm excited to watch this one. This is The Watch, and this one came out, had to be around 2012, I would imagine. Yeah, 2012. So I have 5 more to talk about, and these are all of the 4K films that I grabbed in my trade-in. So first up, we have 13 Hours, The Secret Soldiers of Benghazi. So this is one that I've heard a lot of great things about. I've heard that the movie is excellent, and the 4K disc is just as good. And I love John Krasinski, so I'm sure it's going to be fine. And honestly, I really enjoy Michael Bay's films. Sue me, I have fun with them. So it just is what it is. So I'm really interested to check this one out. So should be a great film to watch. So I'm very excited to check out 13 Hours, The Secret Soldiers of Benghazi. Next up, I will call it like a musical biopic, I guess, but we have the Queen and Freddie Mercury biopic, Bohemian Rhapsody. So I've heard incredible things about this movie, and of course I enjoy Queen's music, and Freddie Mercury has got to be one of the more interesting just individuals ever, so this should be really interesting. So I'm excited to check out Bohemian Rhapsody, and this one just came out a couple years ago, I believe, 2018, so this one should be a lot of fun. Here is one that I grabbed on the recommendation from the Movie Buff Pains. It is Beth's favorite films, or one of her favorite films, I should say. And so I really want to check it out. It has J.K. Simmons and Miles Teller, who are just fantastic. Of course, I'm talking about Whiplash. So this one came out on 4K like a week before I found it used for like $10. Of course, this is my trade-in haul, so zero out of pocket, but you know what I'm saying. So I was very excited to have this one because it was $20 still at Best Buy at the time. So I was super excited to grab this one. Now, a lot of these you can find for like $10 or less right now because it's Black Friday time. But when I got these, a month, 2 months, sometimes even 3 months ago, they were not nearly as cheap as they are now. So I was very excited to get such a good deal on Whiplash. So Whiplash is another one to add to the collection that I'm really intrigued to check out. Here's another one that I think is like $15 right now, or at least it was over the past few days here at Best Buy. But when I got it, this was still like a $20 to $30 disc, so I'm very happy that I was able to find it cheap. We have Waterworld, starring Kevin Costner. And I know this one does not get a lot of love, but that's okay. I've never seen it, and one of my favorite channels loves it, Serial at Midnight, and so I'm very intrigued to check it out. It is a post-apocalyptic film. I love post-apocalyptic films. It stars Kevin Costner, who's fantastic. It just sounds like something I'll enjoy. So I'm sure it's going to be big and dumb, but that's okay. Sometimes you just need big and dumb in your life. So hopefully I will get a kick out of Waterworld, which I was able to find for such a good deal. Last but not least, this is one that you definitely can find right now for super cheap at Best Buy for 4K. The Steelbook was on sale for like $15. It might even still be. So I wish I would have gone the Steelbook route with this one because the Steelbook's pretty cool. But I had this one already and I'm not going to double dip for a Steelbook. It's very rare that that happens. So we, of course, are talking about Sonic the Hedgehog. So I have been wanting this 4K release since the day it came out. I've just been holding off to find it cheap. And I finally did. Now, if I would have waited another 3-4 weeks, I would have gotten it new, even cheaper, but that's just the way it goes sometimes. You play that gamble when you're collecting. So yeah, very excited to watch this one. I've not gotten to it yet, but I definitely will very soon. I love Jim Carrey. I love Sonic. I mean, what's not to like here? So this one should be a heck of a lot of fun to get to. So Sonic the Hedgehog is the last movie I grabbed during my trade-in haul. All right, and there they are, all of the movies that I grabbed for essentially trading in my duplicates. So you gotta love that when you pay virtually nothing out of pocket and everything you're trading is stuff you already own. So this was such an awesome haul. I'm so excited. I was so excited to share this with you guys because I just was able to find so many cool things. So let me know down in the comments below. Do you ever do trade-ins? Is there a store near you that allows trades? Let me know if you do, and let me know if it's worth your time at all or if you think you're just giving away things for free. Should I turn to eBay instead? I don't know. eBay, they take so much between eBay and PayPal. It just doesn't really seem worth it. So I just like doing trades because it's super quick and I tend to get a decent amount for what I trade. So that works for me. So let me know down below what you guys think of everything I grabbed. Where should I start? What's not worth my time? I'm always looking for recommendations down there. And I love having more of a conversation with you guys down in the comments below. So please let me know what you think. As always, if you guys did enjoy this video, please consider subscribing to Cinefessions here on YouTube. And if not, well, thank you anyway for watching this one. I really do appreciate that. And like I always say, I don't just talk movies. I talk all things media, be it books, movies, video games. I'm going to talk podcasts coming up here soon. Like, if it's media related, I'm interested in it. And if you are too, you might consider subscribing. All right, guys. So that is going to do it for today. I just want to say thank you all so much for watching, and I'll catch you next time.